What's going on, guys? It's Jeff for Mad Hatter's Reef, and today we're going to be talking about how to tune your protein skimmer. Alright guys, so before we jump into today's video, I have a little bit of sad news to talk about. Reef Goddess on Instagram had a very unfortunate thing happen to her in her aquaculture facility. It pretty much burnt to the ground, and there was a lot of loss of life and corals and equipment, and it was pretty devastating. So there has been a GoFundMe page put together for this individual, and there's going to be a link down below. I'm sure any level of support that you could give is going to be greatly appreciated by her and her family. Moving on to other things, protein skimming, very important aspect of a reef aquarium. I did a product review on the Aquamax Cone S Q3 protein skimmer, which is on my 220 gallon, and a lot of you guys have been asking, actually, as of late, if I still like this protein skimmer, and I'm going to tell you, yes, I love this protein skimmer. It is probably one of the best investments that I've made for the 220 gallon on the course of this build. But that's not really what we're getting into today. A lot of you guys have been asking me as of late to put a how to tune your protein skimmer video together, and that's what we're going to do today. So if this is your first time being here, this is where I talk about everything reef tank related. So if you love reef tanks like I do, gently smash that subscribe button. Alright guys, let's jump right into it. So I have the Aquamax Cone S Q3 protein skimmer. This puppy retails for over $400 and is rated for 260 gallons upwards of 400 gallons, so it's definitely plenty of protein skimmer for my tank. I absolutely love this protein skimmer. It's been one of the best investments that I've made since I've been in the hobby, and I've been in the hobby for over 10 years now. But I did run into a bit of trouble when I was first setting up my protein skimmer. So the trouble that I ran into with setting up this protein skimmer was that the manufacturer recommended it to be in 9 to 8 inches of water. So when I designed my custom sump, I actually designed that chamber to be 9 inches. I figured if it prefers 8 inches, I just elevate it a little bit and we're good to go. So when I initially set up the protein skimmer, it was going absolutely nuts. I couldn't get it to work properly. It was shooting bubbles out the top. It looked like when you have a protein skimmer that there's something in the water that needs to get out, is basically how it was acting. And this is a brand new setup, so there's nothing in the water that's going to make the protein skimmer act that way. So through trial and error, I realized that the protein skimmer actually prefers 7 to 6 inches of water, not the 8 to 9 that's recommended. So what I had to do was basically elevate the protein skimmer, and it started acting the way that it should. And the reason that this is important is there's only 2 reasons why your protein skimmer is going to go absolutely nuts. 1, because it's in the wrong level of water. 2, there's something in the water that needs to come out. And if your protein skimmer has been up and running for a period of time, then obviously at that point it's more than likely something needs to come out of the water. And I actually recently had this happen to me. There was a good week where I was doing water change after water change after water change to try to get my protein skimmer to calm down. But if you're setting up a protein skimmer for the first time and it's going absolutely nuts, there's a good chance that you're dealing with what I dealt with in the beginning with my Aquamax Cone Q3, and that is the water level needs to be adjusted. This is a pretty common problem. I've read on a lot of forums that people actually have experienced the same problem with even different brands, or even that it says on a website, they buy it, and then the manufacturer instructions say something completely different. So there's a couple different reasons why things could be going wrong with your protein skimmer, and that's something really that we need to talk about in another video. But today we're going to talk about tuning your protein skimmer, and it's really easy. So there's usually 2 different knobs on your protein skimmer. One that's going to adjust the air, which doesn't really do a whole lot. It just basically controls the airflow. The other control is the water level. Now this is the important part of tuning a protein skimmer, is adjusting this knob to control the water level. On my protein skimmer, as you turn it clockwise, the tube goes down on the screw, and what it's going to do is it's going to constrict the amount of water flow that's coming out of the protein skimmer, and by doing that, what's going to happen is you're actually going to see the water level within the protein skimmer start to rise. Most people make the mistake of doing too much too fast,
And something that Mark Levinson from Me Loves Reef said a long time ago that has kind of stuck with me is you want to think of it like you're in the shower and you're trying to find that perfect temperature. You make small adjustments until you get to that perfect temp. One thing that you can kind of notice here is the water level continues to change even though I haven't made any adjustments with the valve on the outlet pipe. And that's really where these small adjustments come into play. So once you get it into the ballpark where you want it to be and start making those quarter turns, wait a minute, see what the water level comes to, then if you need to make more adjustments, quarter turn, wait and see what happens. I've had this protein skimmer for well over a year now, and I even kind of visually know where I need to have that outlet valve to at least get me in the ballpark where I need to have that water level within the protein skimmer. And it still takes me about 5 to 10 minutes to dial in my protein skimmer, so it's going to be producing the most amount of skimmate. And this shot right here is a perfect example of making small adjustments and just kind of sitting back and seeing what your protein skimmer is doing. I haven't touched this in at least 30 seconds, and that water level within the protein skimmer continues to climb. So what I'm shooting for when I'm tuning my protein skimmer is I'm trying to get the micro bubbles to the bottom of the collection cup. So I'm trying to fill that neck entirely with micro bubbles and have it stop right at the base of the collection cup. And what that does is it produces the thickest and best skim mate that my protein skimmer can. And here's a really good shot of the micro bubbles stopping right at that white piece of acrylic, and then above it you have the much larger bubbles that are pushing all that crap that's in the water out of the water and into the collection cup. Alright guys, so the key factors to tuning your protein skimmer and dialing it in is making sure that it's in the correct level of water, making small adjustments to the water level within the protein skimmer so you're getting the perfect micro bubbles that are going to push those proteins out of the water column, and increasing the contact time with those micro bubbles so you are producing the best skim mate possible within your protein skimmer.
Oh, you're still here. That's awkward. Pretty much everybody left about 2 minutes ago. I don't know if you got the memo. Well, since you're still here, I have something top secret that I'd like to share with you, because all those other ones left already. I'm pretty excited about what's happening on my Patreon page, and let's go take a look at that.
Alright guys, so let's jump right into it. This is my Patreon page, and there's going to be a link to this in the description below, so if you want to check it out. And if you're unfamiliar to what Patreon is, it's basically a crowdfunding site for creators, people that are making videos on YouTube, people that make songs, people that make paintings. It goes well beyond YouTube. It's basically for people who create content on the internet. What I'm going to be doing with Patreon is a little bit different than what I've done in the past, and I'm really excited about it, and I wanted to share it with you guys today. So the first 3 tiers are basically what I've been doing, but there's going to be a couple of new things that I threw in there that I'm really excited about. The first tier is the bronze tier, and this is behind the scenes access to the Patreon feed, and it's a good way for you to kind of figure out what's going on here. So if you're not 100% sure that you want to commit to anything more and you want to just see what's going on, that's going to give you access to the behind the scenes content that's available at Patreon. Next up is the silver tier. Now this is where the fun starts. This is where I kind of give back to you guys. And what I do with the silver tier for $5 a month, you're basically getting a raffle ticket, and every month I do a video here on Patreon, which usually falls on the last Sunday of the month. And this past month we did a reactor, and the month before that it was a bunch of Dr. Tim's Aquatics products. So for $5 a month you get yourself 1 entry into the monthly raffle. You have a shout out in a upcoming YouTube video, and you also get access to the exclusive Patreon monthly video. Next up is the gold tier, and this is $10 a month, and what this gets you is 2 raffle tickets and access to the monthly Google Hangout and everything else that was listed in the previous tiers. So these first 3 tiers have been kind of what Patreon has been for me as of late, and what you're seeing kind of just below there, the $25 t-shirt of the month club, this is what I added this past weekend. So going to a monthly format, that allowed me to start a t-shirt of the month club. And what this does for you is when you sign up for the t-shirt of the month club, you get a t-shirt shipped to your door every single month. And some months the t-shirt will be designed by myself, and other months I will be reaching out to vendors and getting t-shirts from them. And I'm really excited about this. This is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, and finally Patreon has kind of given me the opportunity to do this. And last but not least, the Reef Crate of the Month Club. Now what this is going to be is very similar to Mystery Tackle Box, if you're not familiar with that, Loot Crate. And what the idea behind this product is that every month you're going to be getting a box shipped to your door that's going to contain different products in it. All the products within the box are going to be geared towards reef keeping and helping you keep a successful reef tank. So this is what you're going to get with the Reef Crate of the Month Club. Every month you're going to get a box shipped to your door that's going to contain items that are going to help you keep a successful reef tank. You're also going to get access to instructional videos that are going to help you use the products in the Reef Crate of the Month Club. And you're going to get 2 raffle entries into the monthly raffle. So guys, that's just some of the stuff that I've been working on here at Patreon. Like I said a couple times in other videos, it's more than just getting support for the YouTube channel. It's also about me supporting you.
Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and hit that bell so you can stay notified every time I upload a new video. That's going to do it for today. I'll see you guys next time right here with a brand new video.